Shalom, shalom. You highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message. Today, I'm going to be talking about the troops which overtook God. In the scripture, you need to be able to understand what the Bible says in regards to that a nation which thou knowest not, talking about in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 28, where the Bible says that a nation which thou knowest not, if a nation with a fierce countenance is going to come and it's going to take over, that is going to take over your land. And this particular nation, the Bible said that is going to come as swift as eagle. And we know that the emblem, we know that the flag, we know that the coat of arm of the Romans is nothing more but eagle. And so the Bible revealed to us how these nations are going to come. And the reaction, that is to say, and the motive of this particular nation is that, how these nations are going to react. The Bible said that they are not going to have pity for the old or for the young. They are going to do what they are going to, anything that stands on their way, they are going to do what they are going to take it. They are going to crush it. Now, we all know that these things were already a prophecy which were already being written. And so the purpose of why these things has to be able to happen is because the children of God, the Bible already prophesied in regards to the children of God, saying that a troop shall overcome thee. And that troop which overcome God is going to be overtaken. And now remember that these particular troops which overcame God, because God was the protector, or he is the one that is guidance of his brethren. Now, the moment that these particular troops overcame God in order to take the resources which God was actually supposed to be controlling, the moment that this troop overtook God, what happened is that the children which God was supposed to be protecting, which are the children of his brothers, which are the children of his fathers, which are the children of his fathers, they could not longer protect them, and as a result, God was not able to now protect them, which was his actually purpose. So now that the troops has overtaken them, what happened is that the people whom they were supposed to be protecting, what happened is they scattered. So this is what caused the transatlantic slave trade. The children, when you talk about the children of God, they were doing things which was in a position whereby it is now time that something needs to be done in regards to their action, to the actions of the things which they have been doing. And so in order to teach them a lesson, towards what they were doing, so this is the reason why troops were sent. These troops that were being sent did not come on their own. Because if they are to be let alone, those troops cannot do nothing to the children of God. So this is why when you go into the book of Deuteronomy, the Bible said that Yahuwah was the one that sent those particular troops. He sent them in order to do what? In order to take over the children of God. And as a result of this taking over of the children of God, what I want you to be able to understand is that the people who the children of God were supposed to be protecting, what happened? They scattered. They scattered. And those people were the children of his fathers. The children of his father, talking about God, the children of God's fathers are the children of Jacob. So God could no longer protect his own father's children, because why? A troop has overtaken them, and those people that he was supposed to be taking care of, or he was supposed to be protecting, now have scattered. And so they are now being planted in different jurisdictions, in different places, in different ways, in different countries. When you talk about countries, different lands, in the four corners of the earth, they scattered into the Americas, into the Caribbeans, into the Europe, into Africa, into different places, right? They scattered into different places. Why? Because God himself was being overrun, or was being overtaken by the troops. So these particular troops who overtook God made God to lose the grip of the people whom he was supposed to be protecting, or whom he was supposed to be guiding. But the thing is, there is a very much higher plan there that those people fled to, they ran to, they scattered in different places. Talking about the children of Jacob, in those lands which they scattered to, they are going to be the life force. Those people who scattered, who are the children of Jacob, who scattered into different lands as a result of God being overtaken. Now, this is what you need to be able to understand that happened in Arochukwu. You need to understand what I'm telling you. These are the things that happened in Arochukwu, Aguleri. When you talk about the children of God, Arochukwu is one of the children of God. He's been mentioned right there in the book, in the Bible, right there in the book of Genesis. So, and when he was being overtaken by the troops who were being sent in order to overrun them, what happened is that the people whom they were supposed to be protecting, what happened? They scattered. Because they could no longer protect those particular people. They could no longer hold those particular people because now these troops have come. So those people now that they were supposed to be protecting, who's fled into different lands or into different places. As a result, them not being capable to protect these people now, those people who scattered in those places scattered there in the will. It is according to the will of the Most High that they scatter in those places. So that there where they are at, they are going to actually be the life force, the life forces that is going to do what? That is going to be in the midst of those people, in the midst of those nations, in the midst of those people around. Because without those people who scatter, there is not going to be life force in those particular places. Talk about, for example, now the life force that is holding the United States of America are the children of Jacob that are being found there. Without the children of Jacob who fled or who ran away as a result of God being overtaken, or those people who were being taken, there will be no, as if not because of them, there is not going to be life in that particular place. Which is, when I mean about life, I'm talking about the people who are going to give them the spiritual food. Without them, there is not going to be spiritual green pasture among those people right there. So they were being put there, they were being allowed to be there, just as the scripture said that now I want us to be able to read in the book of Micah, just real quick now. The book of Micah chapter number 5. We're going to read just briefly something here in the book of Micah chapter number 5. We're going to read 7 and chapter number 7, you see, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people. So you see, in the midst of many people, how? As a dew from Yahuwah, Now, how were they able to be in the midst of these many people? Just like I said to you, is as a result of the one who was supposed to be protecting. Remember that what Jacob said to God was that, come ye, all my children, that I may tell you something that is going to do what before all of you, how in the latter days. And those things that is going to befall them in the latter days is what he was telling them to be able to do, what to watch out for. And what are those things that are going to befall them? That the truth is going to do, what is going to overtake God. This is what is going to happen to you. So his revelation was to let them know that something is going to befall you in the latter days. So you, God, who is a functional body among your own father's children, you are a protector among your own father's children. Somebody is going to come, some entity, something is going to do a force is going to come and overtake you. And we know that the Bible gave us a revelation of how these particular people came. When you talk about the nation which thou knowest not, in the book of Deuteronomy. And we know that they came in order to do what? To attack, to take on God, which was what you saw in the book of what you saw when the Bible talk about what that is say in the book of right here in the book of where we were at, in the book of Deuteronomy, where the Bible talk about that those nations are going to now overrun you, and they are going to take, they are going to take all the whole things of the land. They are going to take, and they are going to, your father's children, literally everything that belongs to, that you were supposed actually to be controlling, is no longer going to be allowed you to control in that manner. Because why? You have been overtaken, and your father's children are now going to run. But this is what the Bible said that's in chapter number 5 from verse number 7. It says, shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahuwah, as the showers upon the grass. So you are going to be talk about those children who were supposed to be protected by God. But God can no longer protect them. Now those children have scattered because the troops have overtaken God. And now that they have scattered in those places which they were being planted, you talk about in the United States of America, they are going to be the dews there. They are going to be the life force that is going to be what? Without them, nothing is going to be running over there. They are going to, without them spiritually, those people are dead beings. Without them being there, there is no life in that particular way. Without them in the Caribbean, there is no life in that particular place. Those people, or anybody, if there are people there, that place is going to be a dead place. Without them in Europe, there is not going to be a life force. Without them in the UK, there is not going to be a life force. They are going to be in the four corners of the earth. And their purpose is, this is why the Bible said that what? And they are being scattered in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahuwah, as a dew. Now, this dew means that that they are going to be something that is going to be resurrecting the life force of those areas. When Yahuwah look their presence in there, Yahuwah will not want to destroy those particular places because of the presence of those people in those particular places. Overstand it. Yes, why they are there was as a result of God being overtaken. But now that they are in these places, they are serving a purpose. And that purpose was to be a life force that is sustaining that places or that region which they are in. And so this is why the Bible said that what they are going to be as the showers upon the grass. Upon the grass. But you need to be able to understand what is going to happen. So yes, they are going to be there. So imagine the magnitude of what is going to happen when the B part of the prophecy of God is being fulfilled. That is where the Bible says, but God, thou shalt overcome at last. So remember, Jacob said that what? Come to you, or come together together, and I may tell you what is going to befall you at last, at the latter days. Now imagine what is going to happen when God overtakes his enemy. What do you think is going to happen to those life forces that are being planted in all four corners of the earth? What do you think is going to happen? How massive do you really think that this is going to be? Because those people who we are being planted as a result of God being overthrown or overtaken by those troops. Like I said to you, what happened in Arochukwu is a typical example. They were being overrun, and what happened? The people scattered. This is why you see the slavery. You cannot talk about anything slavery if you have not really understood what took place in Arochukwu. Because Arochukwu is what is the chosen, is one of the children, is one of the son out of the 5 children of what? Of God. And a nation overtook them. We know that they came under the British. 5,000 people entered there, and what happened? They desolated what was going on in that particular places. And a lot of people now fled. A lot of people were being taken right from there into what? Into the Americas. A lot of things, atrocity, a lot of things were going on in that particular place, which is called Arochukwu. Why was it? Because God was being overtaken. And the brethren the children of Jacob, who were supposed to be under, now have been scattered. And so imagine what is going to happen when they all rise from those particular places. When they all now rise to their own spiritual powers. When they all are being awakened as a result of God taking back his position. Because God taking back his position is going to automatically cause a chain reaction. It's going to cause an automatic chain reaction among the children of Jacob that were being planted in every place, every plant, everywhere in the world. What do you really think that is going on in West Coast of Africa among the children of God? What do you really think that? Open up your eyes and see what is going on. That whatsoever that you see that is happening in West Coast of Africa is being done through when it comes to the people who were fighting, who are actually after fighting the people of the Roman, that is fighting the people on that through the Romans. Who do you really think that are responsible for the fighting the British people to kick them out of the continent, out of the West Coast of Africa? They are the children of God, and these things are written already. And now what do you really think that is going to happen? It's going to usher in by the time, because the British people are going to be kicked out. This is absolutely a recorded history, a recorded prophecy. They have been manipulating, they have been doing all they have been doing for the longest. And now it is now time. They have been pushing for the longest. Now it is now time for do what? For that prophecy which their ancestor, which the ancestor of God have already said. Come and listen to what is going to befall you in the latter days. Now, in that latter days, a troop is going to overtake you, overrun you, overtake you. And when this troop overtake you, God, you are going to overtake at last. And now you see what is going on. You see the way that the people of the children of God, when you talk about Arochukwu, you talk about Agleru, Umleru, you talk about what is going on in West Coast of Africa. People who are fighting, the only people who are actually kicking against the British people on the core, knowing exactly what they are after. Because they were the troops that the British, that the people who, when you talk about the Romans under their own ego, were able to do what? To overrun. And as a result of that, a lot of people were being scattered. You don't know why the history of slavery, when you can't talk anything about the history of slavery without going to what goes on in Arochukwu. It's a deep mystery, it's a deep secrets there, which a lot of people do not understand. So what am I saying, my dear brothers and sisters? My dear brothers and sisters, you need to be able to understand the magnitude of the purpose of where you are being planted, and without you being planted in wherever that you were being planted, those particular places, there is no life in those particular people. So this is why the Bible said that you are going to be there as a dew from Yahuwah. You are going to be without you in. What did you really understand that took place during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah? What did you understand that happened during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah? Without the presence of Lot and his family in Sodom and Gomorrah, what do you really happen? What do you really think that happened to the children when the Malachites visited Sodom and Gomorrah? They told Lot and said that you know what? We cannot destroy this particular place without you people, without first of all taking you people out here, because you people were the life force that is preventing the destruction of this particular place. And so this is what you need to be able to understand. Without you people being planted in those places, you people that are being planted were being scattered as a result of God being overtaken. You people are the life force that is sustaining those particular places. But now, the whole game is about to change. And what is it? So you people who are the sustainers, who are the life force of those particular places now, you are all going to rise as a result of the rising of the children of God. The children of God. God is just one clan out of one tribe, out of the many children of Jacob. So when this thing happened now, as you're seeing, this is why I tell you that open up your eyes and see the real mysteries of what is really taking place in the West Coast of Africa, because this is not a child's play. We're talking about deep mysteries of things which has already been recorded. What does the Bible say here now? It said here that you're going to be there as the showers upon the grass that teareth not for man, nor waiteth for sons of men. This is your fight is what you are there to do is for the 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional powers. You are going to be fighting spiritual wars. Listen to what he said there. He said, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people. So, as a lion among the flock of sheep, who when he goeth through, when he is awakened, the children of Jacob, the remnant of Jacob, the remnant of Jacob, the ones that remain out of Jacob, who when he goes through, both treading down and treadeth in pieces, and nobody can deliver. Not even those nations which thou knowest not can no longer control this. It's going to get out of their hand. You don't understand the magnitude of this. You don't understand the reason why you see what is going on in the West Coast of Africa. And the British people are right. When you talk about the British people, I'm talking about the Romans under the disguise of the British. The Romans, when you talk about the people who use the emblem of the eagle. Who overtook God. As a result, they were not the one actually that was working with their own power, because with their own power, normally they cannot be able to overrun God. But the Most High allowed them use them as a whip in order to do what his own prophets, the things which has already laid down in order for it to be accomplished right there. And so you see, that is why a lot of people were being planted in the way that they are planted. And now that the rising, this is why you need to be able to understand. I keep on telling people, those who do not really understand what is going on in West Africa, that the British people were always a late comer. But they have been trying everything within their power in order to penetrate to the things which they themselves were late comers to. And how are they doing it? They have to force themselves. This is the reason why I tell you about that. The time that these people were able to come to the west coast of Africa, what happened? They saw the establishment of the children of God. They did not know how they themselves could be able to that is, they could not fathom how they could be able to do what, to penetrate these people, if not through forcefully entering. And that was the reason why a lot of the children of Jacob were against the invasion of the British. They were against the invasion of the coming of the British when you talk about the Romans in towards that particular area. And so since they were against it, the British ain't got no option than to do what, than to forcefully. That is why the Bible said that they are not going to have no pity for the young or the old. So they had to forcefully enter them by doing what? By kicking and doing this. Anybody that stands on their way, they are going to do what? They are going to even maim you and take you under what? Under slavery. Because you are now a barrier. You are trying to be a barrier. And that is the reason why you need to be able to understand the magnitude of what has overrun a lot of people in regards to what? In regards to what is going on towards what? In regards to slavery. You need to understand the higher purpose, the higher plans of what is really going on. That a lot of people have been made not to see the fulfillment of the reality of what is really going on. The children of God are very much active. As I'm speaking to you, the world is going on a different course. And the children of God are on the peak of this game. They are at the peak of this particular game. And this is why the Bible says that what? A troop overcame thee, but thou shalt overcome at last. And now you see what is really going on. That they are going to take back the whole things which has already been taken out from them. The whole things which have been taken back from them. You need to be able to understand as they were being overtaken, the children scattered. Now they are going to return back their power. The children are going to come back. And a nation is going to be formed. And that nation that is going to be formed is going to be a different nation. It's going to be something that is completely different. Because we're talking about the power of prophecies. Somebody got to stand in the word. Somebody got to be able to be in order for what? For the things which has already been written to be fulfilled. That is why you need to be able to understand who is a messenger that brings you, that guides you towards this particular revelation of the things which has already been laid down and revealing the mysteries of what is happening to each one that has eyes to see. The Bible said right there, like I said in the book of Deuteronomy, that nation is going to come and is not going to do what? It's not going to have no pity for the old, for the young. And the nation is going to, whose fierce content, you're not going to know his language. You're not going to understand his language. You're not going to understand even his actions. Why is it like that? Because he was going to come with fears in order to do what? To take on anybody that is going to stand on his way. Because his mission is to do what? Is to overrun the children of God. And that was the troops that overcame God. But the Bible says God is going to overcome them at last. And when God overtakes them at last, the children of the brethren of God, when you talk about the descendant of the children of Jacob, are going to rise. They already risen. They are already rising in different places where they have been planted. And by so doing, imagine what is going to happen when they are being collected from those particular places where they have been, and they are now being used to form a nation. What is going to happen to those words where they were at, where they were the life forces of? There's going to be a total clearance. It's going to now lead into something that you did not, your mind cannot even handle or fathom. You need to be able to understand the higher pictures and the realities of what is going on. So we're talking about the real revelations of what is going on in the west coast of Africa. And to my brothers and sisters out there, I say to you all, may you remember Baruch, and may the Most High, whose name is Yahuwah, be the one to continue elevating my brothers and sisters in order to understand these particular mysteries that has already been hidden to the people who really have deviated their own life from the reality of what is happening. I pray may the Most High, whose name is Yahuwah, guide you and protect each and every one of you and keep on increasing you day by day in the knowledge of the Ruach. Remember, Baruch, my dear brothers and sisters out there, as we continue into the digging deeper into this particular study of truth. Remember, Baruch, in the name of Yahushua. Shalom to you all, my brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.